All you need to know about sea lice, wild fish and salmon farming. Fisheries trusts from all along the northwest coast of Scotland seine net selected bays to catch and sample sea trout to monitor infestations of sea lice. Some sea trout have been found to carry large numbers of sea lice, especially of the very small larval stages. However, this does not mean that these sea trout are representative of sea lice levels across the whole local population. Sea lice are parasites, and all parasites have a unique distribution pattern, which is unlike that of other animal populations. This is called an aggregated distribution, which means that most hosts, which in this case are sea trout, carry few, if any, sea lice parasites. By comparison, the hosts, such as those caught in the seine net sampling, and which tend to be the weaker or sicker fish and thus more easily caught, are those carrying high numbers of sea lice parasites. Unfortunately, there is very little awareness of aggregated distributions, so many from the wild fish sector think that the few fish they see with high lice numbers are representative of the whole local population, and thus all fish are infested with high lice levels. This is simply untrue. The salmon farming industry is blamed for being the source of these sea lice. The red line on this graph shows the development of the salmon farming industry. The blue line shows the number of sea trout caught from rivers in the northwest aquaculture zone from 1952 onwards. Sea trout were plainly in decline for at least 30 years before salmon farming was established. Salmon farming is clearly not to blame for these declines. The graph actually shows that the rate of decline slows down after the fish farming industry became established, rather than gather in pace. Sea trout catches have declined across all of Scotland, not just in the northwest. An article in the November 2020 issue of Fly Fishing and Fly Tying magazine asks, where have all the sea trout gone? The simple answer is we don't know. And as any research is currently directed to trying to implicate salmon farming in the declines, even though sea trout have declined across areas hundreds of miles from any salmon farm, it's unlikely we will ever know.